Peace, love, light, unity. It's Sarita Alita Daily, and I just want to say peace to you. And I know that this is finding you in a place where you're receiving some deep, deep, deep insight. And so today, what this is about, this episode today, Bliss Returned, is about how in the world are you going to get through these times right now that you are experiencing. And if you are listening to this right now, and some of you are experiencing a need for survival, you're looking for ways to survive, you're looking for a way to do what is next, to find that next step in your life, because something is pulling you in one direction. And you're looking around and you're like, wait a minute, how am I gonna do this? And so this is what we're gonna talk about today. As we ascend and you're moving, along with this new time, this new day, this moment, you feel, some of you have gone through some really deep cleansing, and you feel like you don't even belong on the planet anymore. Some of you are starting to feel more connected to the planet now. And your main thing that you can do right now to be able to find out what are you supposed to be doing? What is the next step? And how are you going to survive this with your sanity? Well, this brings me to, a conversation I had recently. Someone got in touch with me and we were talking, and they really thought that they were going crazy, but what were they considering to be crazy? Well, they were being told that they needed to take care of themselves in a way of going to see someone like a psychotherapist or someone like that, because the ideals that they were coming up with sounded so extreme, and they sounded like they were trying to escape from reality, or they were losing touch with reality, or the people that were just, were coming up with this stuff and trying to figure out what this person was going through. They were calling what this person was going through a mental breakdown, so to speak. And so this is a bit of what some of you are experiencing, because I was asked to speak on this today. And what you really have to do right now is find a way to grab onto something and ground yourselves. Ground yourself. If you're listening to this on a cell phone or you're on the computer, you can pause this video, come back to it, and go outside and take your shoes off. But make sure you don't step in any, dog crap or something like that. But stand in the grass and put your feet in the soil or on some sand. I would really, ground. It would be better, of course. The sand, you're going to be right by the water, so that's not going to ground you all that much. But find you a tree. Find you a live tree. And even though they say wood is dead, you can use a table if you have that. Everything is alive. Everything is alive anyway. So find the element that will ground you. Find a piece of granite and ground yourselves with that. There are other elements that you can use to ground yourself. You can use a piece of petrified wood, which is, some people consider it a gemstone. Even, what else is good? A piece of amber, the amber that they call a gemstone, or, a piece of hematite, a piece of onyx, obsidian, those type of things. Even a piece of marble, is okay. So what I want you to do is to ground yourselves, because you're not in the wrong place. You're on the planet because you came to learn certain things that you signed up for you. It was you that did that. And there's nothing that you are to run away and go do, but to be here now, presently, and to enjoy that. First and foremost, that is what you came to do. And so if you're trying to run away, then you're not getting the lesson that you signed up for. If you're trying to go and be alone all by yourself, some of you have that as a lesson and you don't want to do it. So you crowd your life with a bunch of people and do a bunch of partying all the time. For those of you who have that, you are grounded. So you find your balance in learning how to enjoy the time with you, learning how to enjoy that alone time and include some quiet time in your life and get some hobbies and ground yourself. Some of you are, find yourself being so just want to be in meditation all day, and you are losing touch with the earthly reality because you really want to go ahead and go to the next reality. You want to go to another dimension, like you're ready to go. I feel you. I'm right there with you. Trust. But for now, because people really do need our assistance, and we also need other people who are not where we are. We need their assistance as well, because there's a lesson to learn on both sides. See, we've been taught to think that just because we may have, as spiritual beings who are ascending, light beings or indigos and stuff like that, that we have already gotten what we came to get. Now let's leave the ones who don't have it yet and leave them to figure it out for themselves, because everyone does have their inner guidance system with them. They're going to get what they're supposed to get regardless, right? But it is something that we both came to do here, right? Some people have been spiritual so many lifetimes, so they come to be in the physical reality and just really get engrossed in that and really just totally just get into that. And then some of us, we come because we are teachers, we're healers, we're instructors, we guide people in the ways that we know how best to do it. And so because you're here, there is something to learn from those who are into the soap operas. And some of you spiritual people are into that stuff too. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. But whatever it is that you are into, find your balance. And some of you will say, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what my balance is. But you are coming into a knowing of what that is. So that is why it's essential to have time to reflect on what it is that you need to do for you. Because as you align with you, everything else is going to come into alignment around you as well. You are a universe within yourself. And, he, she, they, everyone, all of us are a universe within ourselves. We are creating with our thoughts. And as we do that, as we heal, as we remember, as we call up the things, as we enjoy, as we have fun, and as we meditate, and as we let things flow through us, and just come around people who are different than we are. That is the biggest lesson for earthly beings and spiritual beings, is experiencing the different sides of the Creator, of the universe, of God, of that, right? Some people say the ancestors. So you are getting a chance to experience different aspects of the universe, right? By just being. So I'll tell you, one of the things that ancestors say is that one of the ways that it is going to come, things will come into balance more so, is that you really have to line up with the things that you want. And some of the stuff that some of you all want is traveling all over the world. You want to literally give away all your things. You want a backpack, or you want to obtain a lot of things, and you want to settle down, and you want to be close to the water, or you want to live off the land. But you know that you are craving and desiring to have your freedom, and you are remembering how good it feels to remember that you are free, and that no one can take that away from you. It is an illusion that we believe that we are not. So your lesson right now for some of you is that you come into a peaceful place with where you are. Come into a peaceful place with where you are and find. You don't even have to search for those people who are where you are. Line up and enjoy yourselves in the simple ways. Ignore those around you, not in an angry, bitter way. Stand your ground. Definitely do that. But do learn to be peaceful. And as you exude the peace, you're healing others around you. And I know I've said it so many times, but you are the key to the way that people respond to you. You are. You can have a whole bunch of people that think they hate you, but it is only because your energy is not reflecting love and light at the moment. As you do it, and you are aware, you learn to become aware, which is another step in the lesson learning process of being a spiritual being, of knowing that you are consciousness and a body, is that you have the ability to fine-tune you, and then in turn, everything around you begins to change and vibrate at a different pace. So I got off of what we were talking about at first, which was you all are wondering how you're going to get to the next step right now. You are really, really, really at a point where finances have become a problem, or they look like there are no finances. They're dried up. You don't know where they're going to come from. And some of you are worried. And even though some of you have learned how, if you're listening to this, a lot of you have learned how to balance and to vibrate at a more joyful way and be more balanced. And you're more comfortable now. So in turn, your environment is more harmonious. But you still want to know why are you going through this stuff you're going through right now? Well, for one thing, we are being, as the ascension is going on, and everything is speeded up, time is sped up and everything. You are being challenged to go out and create the things that you want to see physically now and enjoy them. So to create them, all you're going to really do is continue doing the things you enjoy while you are out, while you're home within the visualizations, the things that you're doing. Do things you enjoy. Read, do some crocheting, bake some cookies, make some raw desserts, make something that you enjoy, and stop worrying so much about pollution, so-called pollution, so-and-so smoking cigarettes over in the neighborhood. Stop worrying about the alleged toxins. As you begin to vibrate at a higher pace, then all these other things do not matter anymore because they will cease to exist. So the balance that must happen, and even if the things don't cease to exist, they won't affect you because you are not the body. So some of you are worrying about the wrong things. Right now, get into a place of enjoyment right now. Let time pass and begin, write down the same goals that you've had over the past 5 years or whatever. Those things, you're starting to see the pieces of it now. Some of you are like, oh my God, it's coming together. It's moving so slow though. I wanted to move faster, and why am I being guided to go and stay with people that I don't even know? That is a part of the lesson. Going and mixing it up with people who do not share the same type of understanding that you do is going to teach you something. It's going to offer you the chance to be of service to others and them to also do the same for you. Because in the world, we all have a desire to do something within us. There's a yearning in there. And that God force is going to do its thing now or later. It's going to do it, and it's going to come through certain beings. And as long as you can step aside and let it happen, by enjoying, by allowing, that just the best parts of you to come out and not caring about what people think about you. You're going to look as if you have just woke up one day and you're like, you know what, I don't feel like any responsibilities anymore. As a spiritual being who is ascending, guess what? There is a certain responsibility that you have. The only responsibility is to be. The responsibility that you have as a spiritual being at the core, when it's at its raw, it's at the core is being. remembering and allowing the self to be. The self, the I, the identity of God, the consciousness within, is just allowing that to just go. Letting it flow and letting it be. Everything else is extras that you do because you're on the planet and you're just interacting. You're just having a good time, And you all know when you have that force remembered, and you see it and feel it and you're exuding it, and how you can tell by how people are responding to you. You can tell when you're at that highest place of that. And if you're not there yet, some of you are there 2 times a day and then you fall off a little bit and you get back up. It is not about trying to find the perfection in it. It is about staying there as often as possible, going back as often as possible, and knowing that you can do that as often as possible that you want to. So there is a Bach flower remedy, because some of you are having issues with the change, and it's really, really pulling on you, and you want some things to help you out with all the changes that you're experiencing, because the things that you've asked for, they're coming really fast. And some of, you say they're coming slow, but for some of you some stuff is coming too fast, or you're uncomfortable about the way that they're coming. So the ancestors say that there are some things, some herbs, some things that you can use to smooth and to soothe your physical person, if you will. And one of them, I was in here and I was about to go to bed one night a few days ago, and I was like, I reached in my bag and something said, reach for this particular Bach flower remedy. And there was a Bach flower remedy, but one of them for a change is walnut. And if you go online and you do a search, you'll see that Pluto also just went direct on, I think, the 21st of this month of September 2013. And so the things that you've been lining up that weren't really, you've kind of been getting some keys and cues and visions, and now everything is moving. It's moving, and you have the vitality now to get things done. You felt weak before, back in April, and now you feel all strong and vital and vibrant. And now you're like, what do I do with all of this? I don't want to go live with these people that I don't know, and I really don't want to give away any more stuff, or I don't want to change my life too much. I like the way it is now. Okay, so you all know that if you're experiencing these changes, that you did ask for it. And you may not like the way that things are unfolding or the way they're breaking down to build back up. But Pluto, the planet Pluto, is about change. It is about resurrection. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to come out of this thing with the things that you want, doing the things that you want to do, and getting the amount of finances and having the resources steadily flowing to you more so. But you've got to balance you. And, it's easy to get through this if you are, feeling good about it. So here we go. So walnut is one of the things that you can get. Some of the gemstones that I highly suggest that I was in the window, and I keep a lot of my gemstones in the window because I want them constantly being cleansed. There's some, rain will come in, they'll get rain on them, whatever, and they get cleansed and all that good stuff. And, they have all this energy and stuff. So I was picking up a lot of things for the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra is the second chakra. And pretty much it's like the reservoir of our life energy. And it's where healers know this very well. Because when you're sending energy through your hands, if you're an energy healer who does Reiki and you do certain comedic types of energy work or whatever, and you're doing touch energy, then you're sending that energy through your hands, then you're channeling it. it comes from the sacral chakra area, and you feel that warmth there. And it's pretty much located in the area below the navel and above the pelvic bone. And again, it's the second energy center. So some of the things that you can do to help balance that area, because it's connected with the element of water, and its characteristics pretty much are of flowing and of movement and cleansing. The moon is kind of one of the symbols for it. It is, and now that at the time of the goddess, and she's resurrecting and coming back to her place, the women are definitely feeling this sacral chakra needing to be balanced. Some of us, did not get that that warmth or those things that someone would have gotten when they were a child, and they felt, maybe a lack of physical connection or lack of physical contact. That's what I want to say, as young children. So you didn't really have that. Maybe your parents were too serious, or they just weren't into being very affectionate with you, saying I love you, holding your hand, and hugging you a lot, and really appreciating you and pushing you and saying, wow, you did a really wonderful job. A lot of healers grew up without that, because you already had a knowing that you were, really, really all that, and you had a sense of that power that you have. So you grew up this time and you didn't, something said, well, you don't need that. You need to remember who you are. And that way the ego won't get in the way. So you won't have a double dose of all this appreciation and all this, stuff where it will stunt your growth, so to speak, because you would have it already growing up, because you have the knowing, you all know what I'm talking about. You can feel it. So, what you must do for that is nourish that sacral chakra. That's what it was told right now is important, is that second chakra above the root chakra. It is pretty much you're going to do some belly dancing. Get into some dancing, some spontaneous movement. Just jump up and dance all over the place in your room, in your house. You don't have to have people watch you. If you don't want to, use it as a meditation time, a movement of meditation. Then you have your inactive movement of meditation, because some of you have meditated forever. Now it's time for you to start moving, And so some of you all's meditation can just be at night before you go to bed. And some of you will just do movement meditation, walking meditation, qigong, tai chi, yoga, belly dancing, things like that, because you want to stimulate the happiness and enjoyment. Sacral chakra has to do with that. And it will really, really, really help you out with learning things. Will help you out with your survival skills. Just playing and learning. Also getting into some hobbies, because the sacral chakra, when it's flowing, guess what happens? You all are starting to see your gifts come through even more as the artist, and your meditation has become a creating of things, just enjoying making stuff, and that's good. So you're playing music, you're trying to, you're making music, you are totally looking like you're escaping from this reality, but you're really not. What you're doing is being. There is nothing to do but to do what you're drawn to do. What you're drawn to do is what you do. What the impulse to do is what you do. So you'll see more of that. You'll feel more of that as the days go, as they turn. I'm going to have some more recordings I do over the next few days. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm experiencing my own awakenings, and it's just wonderful. It really, really is. And now I'm embracing another part of my life where I go out like I wanted to do and go and